Alright. We have another Protoss. And as per usual, I wasn't paying attention to what league he was in, because I was looking at my chat for questions. But we're going to do the same build. It's quite versatile. Okay, so he is Platinum League. Alright, well, we're going to do the same exact build. And we got a couple of questions about Ghost play. So what I'm going to try to do is take this game pretty long. We're going to take this game really long. I think Vikings are more important than Ghosts because with Micro, you can kind of mitigate storms a little bit, but you can't really out-micro Colossi. They're really, really just like A-move units. So if you want to beat Colossi, you need Vikings. Or release 6 surround. So remember, guys, this is game number 12, actually, of our Bronze to Masters tutorial series. So 10 depot, 10 supply, barracks, 12 supply, gas, 15 supply is our super, super standard opener. You're going to see a lot of pro players do this against Protoss. Barracks is on the way. So I was asked about ghost play. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some ghost play. Pretty early probe scout. Just going to send my SCV, try to poke away at it. Don't want him to do any damage to my SCV in the barracks. So he's going to attack that. If he continues to attack it, I just attack with both SCVs. And then once he's out of my base, I wall him out. Remember, guys, 14 supply, rally over to the gas. Don't get too distracted by this. It's not going to do really anything to you. If he pulls it away from the wall, then, like, I don't even care anymore that it's here. I'm going to wall him in if he wants to die in my base, I guess. Yeah. The only SCV that matters is the one building the barracks, because once I get a Marine, this probe is dead, guaranteed. Just keep my eye on it. So this SCV is locked out, so I'm just gonna build that. I don't like getting the 16th SCV. Faster the mule, the better. It's poking away at this SCV, so to make sure it won't die, I'm just gonna pull it back. So Marine out, second Marine coming. Let's finish the supply depot. Drop down mule. And remember, when the second Marine finishes, we're going to be getting up our reactor. So SCV goes to scout. What do I see? Okay, gateway is done. He's got a cybernetics core. A lot of energy, so this could be something like a 4-gate. He has a second gas as well. Has he mined anything? No. So I do have to be a bit careful as to what he could be trying to do. I'm going to build my barracks on my command center on the high ground, just to give you guys a bit of demonstration on how I would go about doing that. He's putting a lot of chrono boost. Okay, so one onto Stalker, one onto Warp Gate. So this could be a really, really aggressive Mothership Core play. He doesn't have an expansion yet, and that's mostly what I want to know about. So I do need to be careful of that. And one of the things I like to do is, I said in TVT earlier, it's important to spread your supply depots out. It's actually pretty good to spread your supply depots out early TVP now, because you can spot oracles. If they aim move an oracle or something really silly, they can waste their energy attacking a supply depot. And all other sorts of things. And since I'm inside my base, I have the ramp advantage, so I'm not going for as fast of a bunker. I'm going to try to get a bunker, but it's going to be actually a bit difficult to do because I didn't go for it really fast. And you guys are going to see now why I say it's important to get the bunker very quickly. Unless he doesn't push me immediately. But with that, I mean, he chrono boosted the Stalker out, so I feel like because he chronoed the Stalker, it's very likely that he's going to try to do some aggression with it. Either that or he wanted to really deny me from scouting. But now I'm going to build a Widow Mine, and this Widow Mine will protect my mineral line. A lot of people say things like, well, Nathan, don't Widow Mines do splash to your own SCVs if they're in your mineral line? SCVs have 45 health. A Widow Mine does 40 splash damage, so... this guy just left. Well, I'm not even going to add... Okay, I'm not putting this game on YouTube. This guy left for literally no reason. Well, that was a bit of a waste. What did he have anyway? Had to be a proxy. I'm going to scan. No proxy? That was weird. That was a bit of a waste. Built a nexus. Where did he build a nexus? I'm a little curious. That's adorable. This would have been a fun game if he didn't leave. He's gonna build another nexus too. That's hilarious. Alright, well that's not game number 12. We'll do a different game number 12. Build a second command center again after the reactor. Scan time in TVP? I mean, it depends. Typically speaking, you use the scan off. You scan as soon as your natural expansion's done. Like that would be the first scan you make with it. Would be to your opponents if you're nervous in TVP. I don't really scan TVP because I think you can find everything you need to know with SCVs pretty easily. Alright guys, game number 12 here. Our last attempt at game 12 was a botch. Our opponent just kind of left for no reason after throwing down a proxy nexus. But, okay. It's going to be another TVP against a Platinum Protoss player. So, Newkirk City once again, great map for any kind of airplay. So what I'm going to do is, same exact thing. And as I did receive a request about ghost play, I will try to take this game a bit late. Or possibly just go for fast ghosts. Supply depot at 10 supply, guys. Remember that. So important. And yeah, barracks 12. So, TVP, someone asked me a question about the best times to scan in this matchup. And to be honest, I don't really scan much at all in this matchup. So, you can scan with the first, or as soon as your second orbital command finishes, so can you build your expansion? You can scan with that. Or you can just use your SCV to scout. I personally think that there's nothing that you need to know in the early game that an SCV can't find out. So, remember guys, 15 supply is going to be our refinery. 15 supply, 15 supply, 15. Just making sure, building our SCVs. And I don't build a 16 supply SCV. Always get that up. So there's the probe now coming in to scout out what I have. I didn't go for a fast wall off, so I'm kind of bare. You can see it all. So let's scout out what he's got. Gateway, very low energy. Double gas though, so this looks like he could be going for some kind of proxy play. I'm going to scout out all proxy locations. There's only 2 pylons, so this probe could be looking to build a proxy Stargate. Okay, so stutter step is, it's probably better that I didn't kill that, because that's probably a bit too fancy for me to be showing you guys. But this SCV is going to go make sure he's not expanding. And so here's what I'm going to do. And a lot of people say that this is luck-based, but I think it's diligence-based. I think if you're determined enough to try to find a proxy, it's not that hard. I'm going to send this SCV out and check basically everywhere that this guy could have a proxy set up for this map. So, common locations. This whole area. Sometimes this space, sometimes here, and sometimes here. So when I find his proxy, if he's proxying, do not try. It's not a luck-based thing. If you look hard enough, you can find most anything in life that you want. And that applies to everything. But I'm gonna get my factory, and I'm gonna get somewhat of a later bunker this game. So you might actually find out why getting the late bunker is bad this game if he puts on any kind of early pressure. So proxy wasn't over there. This SCV is not going to jump into his base until about 5 minutes. The good thing, though, is that if he goes for Proxy Oracle, I have a great defense set up in the form of Widow Mines from this factory, so I'm actually going to get a supply depot. Not here. Still no Nexus. Very, very important to note. More Marines, and the bunker is done. Mine production starts immediately because we don't know what he's doing. So this SCV is just going to go on a trip around the map, and I'm going to send this one back into his base. He could have technically built his Stargate in his main, but I guess we're about to find out. He has a robotics facility coming in. Oh goodness, and 2 more gateways. So this looks like a really, really aggressive build. So this could be like a warp prism kind of attack. I'm actually a little bit worried about this. Immortal builds are really hard to deal with too, but the robotics facility is not done yet, so he could be a proxy. So I'm just going to go scout around, make sure that it's not a proxy. And in terms of defending against this sort of stuff, the robotics facility, he'll have an observer to spot this. Yeah, he's warping in a lot of units. All right, I'm going to get some SCVs down here. Stat. He doesn't have an observer here yet, but that mine has run its course. I'm going to need to get a medevac out here to give some extra healing power. And I want to make sure it's not any kind of warp prism play. That's my biggest fear right now. If he goes for any kind of warp prism play, that could be so difficult to deal with. So this SCV sees everything. He actually warps some units in at home. And this SCV is going to go make sure he doesn't expand. So important things to note, though. We're going to maintain our follow-up, though. We're going to do our standard opening. We're not going to deviate our build at all just because our opponent has done something a little bit weird. I'm going to poke away here, try to maybe bait him into my Widow Mines. And I have a medevac ready, so remember, guys, standard follow-up is going to be 2 barracks. Do not forget your standard follow-up. If he delays me from doing what I need to do, because now he's expanding, but if he delays me from doing what I need to do to win this game, then not taking any damage doesn't matter. So now I'm going to go take this out. His units are gone. Ah. So if he's going to be this aggressive, and someone did ask about drop play, I said I'd take this game long, but let's see if this guy knows how to hold off a very small drop. And now my engineering bay, though, is really, really late. So I gotta get another gas at the same time. Okay, he has an observer here, actually, to help with this. So I need to keep SCVs here. He could be looking to go for some kind of 2-base pressure. Oh, he killed off all my mines. What a jerk. Alright, I'm actually gonna need another bunker. He has a lot here. He could just be looking to try to kill me. And now, so here's what I could do. Because he has all of his units at my base, I can just use kind of a counterattack thing. So now if he wanted to warp more units in my base, he can't. And I'm just going to dip back between bases. Important things to do. When you're doing any kind of drop play, the most important thing is to not overcommit. Like, try to keep your drop alive as long as you can, because that's what makes a drop threatening. Like, a drop isn't really scary if you kill it. So, I mean it sounds like self-explanatory, but it's really, really missed. But my follow-up is going pretty well. I'm getting a little bit supply blocked, but I think it's okay when I do this to get supply blocked because it gives you an idea of what could happen to you in one of your games. That was a bit too fancy. I picked up the weakened Marine, but he might kill this medevac. Okay, that makes us even for that unnecessarily fancy trick there. And I'm just gonna keep my factory at home. So because he's playing so aggressively, I'm going to move up to 5 barracks before I move up to my 3rd base first. So I just really want to make sure he doesn't kill me with any like really, really big monster follow-up. He's got like this semi-awkward contain setup, but it's not that bad. So now medevacs are out. Continue my production. Third base is going to start though. So at this point, my stim is going to be finishing as well. So now that I have stim, this little bit of a gateway contain he has. Trying to pick up my units inside my medevacs. So it looks like he wants to get really, really, really aggressive. So I need to be very, very careful in dealing with this. He has this like really, really, really big setup. You could, of course, stim units inside of bunkers, guys. If you click the bunker with the units in it and click T on your mouse, on your keyboard, you can stim inside bunkers. So basically, I just did that to defend against this. It's important to pull your SCVs in time. I know it can be a bit hard for you guys to do. I'm trying to like accurately represent how it would happen in your games, but I'm a bit too used to this sort of thing. Alright, so putting out a couple more. A bit oversaturated here, but without landing this third base, we can't really do anything about that. I do want to get this gas up, though. This way I can start my 2-2. So, this command center is done. Turn into an orbital command. Let's see what he has. And remember, everything else I'm just going to rally to home, because I think counterattacks really, really hurt lower league players as well. So I want to check the tower. I want to know if he has a third base. I want to know what kind of tech he has. These are all the questions that run in my head. So now that we've completely shoved him off of us, we can go for a third pretty safely. Not have to worry about it too much. I'm just going to bring all these SCVs. We're going to add on about 3 barracks. And this bunker is not as much of an issue anymore, so. I don't actually know what he has. He has an observer on my army. I can see it right here. So. I'll make sure there's any proxy pylons around. I'm just gonna send those guys around the map. And this guy's gonna see if there's a third. Not one there. Should have that Mobius reactor done by now. Yeah, I'm getting cloaked. So. Ah, I didn't build the second engineering bay. Alright, well the armory's done though, so I can get the upgrades. No third yet. Let's scan. What does he have? Colossi. Alright, so the ghost's probably not the best idea right now. It could actually really, really hurt me if he went for a big Colossi push. So, I think the best way to deal with that is to make sure I don't get supply blocked. And kill this observer. Because now he knows. I mean, someone wanted to see Ghost play, so I'm trying to squeeze this in here. But if my opponent doesn't go Templar, it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult to justify really early Ghosts. So I've made a pretty big investment by getting Ghosts this early. But I like to set my Ghosts on a separate hotkey from everything else. And when I have Ghosts, I set my Vikings on 3. Still a bit oversaturated. Ah! This can... Oh, how silly of me. He has an observer in my main base, too. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so he's got a good number of Colossi. But I'm going to max out soon, so... If he doesn't build Templar, he doesn't build Templar, but... His Colossi count is pretty scary, but... I'm actually going to cancel all the units that I'm making so I can afford the Colossi production. I mean the Viking production that I need. So I use 3 hotkeys for this. I'm going to try to just get some EMPs on this army. And now I'm free to engage him pretty much. Stutter stepping back and forth very slowly is super, super important. Okay, so he's actually got Templar out now. So. This is actually a bit of a problem. I'm gonna load up a drop to try to keep him away from me. Yeah, I didn't really have anywhere near enough Vikings to deal with this. Alright, so. Remember, like I said, the drop's to keep him away. Alright, and so I have. So, bought myself a bit more time. I managed to get my remax up. My biggest problem right now, he killed a lot of my medevacs. It's not like the biggest deal ever, but Protoss is pretty strong in these types of situations, so I like to do this bit of multi-prong harass to keep him on his toes. Alright, so now I'm feeling good though. Trying to split up my SCVs to my new bases. And I really just want to max out on, remember guys, ghosts lead. So I'm just going to try to get EMPs. And if he doesn't have detection, this can kind of happen. So if there's just my big A move. Scan to make sure no Dark Templar. And that's game. So in terms of how you want to properly use ghosts, so you know that all happen in a big flash. So if you want, like, how I use the ghosts is you want to lead with the ghosts, right? So your Vikings sort of lead, but your ghosts really lead, and you want to just run your ghosts forward, but in front of your army, and just blanket with EMPs over everything. As you get to higher leagues, people will get better at splitting their High Templar, and it won't be quite so easy to just like kill someone like that. But I think the general concept is pretty simple. I never got my +3 armor, which sucks. But yeah, that's game number 12. Try to do a bit of ghost play for you guys. So hopefully you got a good idea of how you want to at least engage in Terran versus Protoss. I can do a bit more analysis on that later. I'll probably make a separate YouTube video just for engaging Protoss. But that's a whole another ball game.